by Air Diffusion Agencies, the big Sauce. Sauce Jacobs joins me. Sauce, how are you, mate?
I'm very well. Feel yourself?
Now, you know this is going to be really serious, mate, so I want you to brace yourself. That nice Under Armour hat there, mate.
Yeah, a little plug. Hopefully they get on board.
You get a little plug? Personal sponsor, mate?
ASICS.
ASICS?
Wherever the, I don't think there's a logo on here, but
no logo.
I'm an ASICS man.
Okay, so you're not easily bought. Hey,
no.
Mate, let's start it with your footy career, mate. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Ardrossan, obviously a small country town, about 1,100 people on the York Peninsula, so it's about 2 hours from the city. So lived there till I was about 15, 16, before I moved to Adelaide for footy.
All right, mate. School sport, mate. Was it just footy, or did you get in?
No,
country towns are normally everything, mate.
We had an area school, so it was 160 kids in our school, and only 15 in my year 12 class. So school sports wasn't no. So I remember one day we played. We used to have school knockout competition, and we could only fill 16 of the 18 spots for the footy. So we had to play 2 short, but we still got the day off the school.
Still got the day off school.
Exactly.
So you didn't go for the footy, you went for the day off school.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, mate. Parents.
Yep.
Supportive, too pushy, or
no? Very supportive. Mum's a typical mum. She always thinks I'm best on ground and sees all the positive. Dad's an interesting one. He's a massive fan, but he's also happy to let me know what I need to improve on. So he's got a really good balance, Dad. Very lucky and very fortunate in my upbringing with Mum and Dad.
Well, that might be interesting, mate. Little daughter Imogen Rose has just come along, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What kind of dad are you going to be, mate? You going to push her into sport, mate? She's going to be a musician?
Well, I'm not going to be pushy, but I'd like her to play basketball or netball, which would be great. Obviously, me and my partner played ABA basketball for Sturt, so she's a sports lady in her own right, so we're a sporty family already, so I think she'll naturally just get into sport anyway.
Sometimes you have those role models, you know, when you grow up playing sport. Did you have a couple of favourite sporty role models?
Michael Voss was always my favourite footballer.
Fossey?
Yeah. Not because of the red hair, but...
Mate, we're not going to start with the hair jokes, are we? Is that where you're going?
More just because of the way he played, and I always supported the Crows, and I'm always a big Crows man, but just for something different, I always loved the Brisbane Lions and Michael Voss. Okay, mate, so you originally come down here, Woodville, West Torrens. Yep.
Can you remember your first couple of ventures down here?
Yeah, it was. It was a massive thing. You know, obviously, I've never had any, people progress with their sport in my family, so it was always something new for me to, first of all, to come down and play at the Eagles and try out for the under-17 teams first of all. And so I was, I used to leave school at 3:30 on a Thursday to come down and drive 2 hours to train. And it used to be the best thing. I'm leaving school early because I got to play footy in Adelaide. So it was always a good thing. And then from there I was a young year 12, so I sort of had a gap year between year 12 and when I got drafted. So moved to Adelaide, played league footy. So it was I've got really fond memories of being at the Eagles. They're a great club and produced a lot of good footballers.
Who would have been coaching?
So Steve Winstanley was my under-17s coach, and then Ray Mildenhall was the coach as well, and then Ronnie Fuller. So
Ronnie Fuller.
I was very fortunate to play in a successful, Eagles league side. I got dropped for a prelim and they went on to win it, so a bit of a hard luck story, but when you're 17, 18 playing league footy, it's a dream come true.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about 2006, pick one. I'm calling you pick one, mate. Pick one, you get great pick at pick one. Get drafted by Carlton, a couple of years there, mate, and you probably played more games for the Bull Ants than you played for Carlton. I mean, was it a frustrating period? Yeah, it was. I guess at the time, it's interesting. When you go to Melbourne, they've got a rule called the 12-10 rule, so that's why if you're playing VFL and you play a non-affiliated AFL side, you can only play 12 listed AFL players. So, and being a rookie list player, I was the first one to get dropped. So it was actually really frustrating because I was playing league footy in Adelaide. I'd go over there and I was playing VFL reserves. So it made it really hard, and I got really homesick there at times. So I was like, why am I over here chasing a dream to play, AFL when I'm getting dropped from the VFL side purely because of the numbers reason. So my form was actually really strong. So I had a lot of support through David Teague and guys like this who was coaching the VFL. So I felt I was playing really good footy. So, but at the same time, I was a bit unsure. As you know, it's always tough when you move away from home at a young age. So then you get that chance to come home. So by the sound of it, it wasn't a hard decision, mate, to come back in 2011. So first game, round 5. Can you remember? We all remember our first game. What do you recall from your first game?
Even both clubs. My first game for Carlton was round 1 against Richmond on a Thursday night when we won by 84 points. It was Ben Cousins' first game for Richmond actually, and he pinned his hammer.
So you got a big crowd in.
So it was 87,000 there. So I was very fortunate to have my time at Carlton, which I love. So great memories of my first game over there, and then to come over here and I did a couple of hammies through the pre-season, so I was a bit slow getting going. But ironically, my first game was against Carlton, so.
Enough said, mate.
Yeah.
We won't go. 2011, mate, to 2019. The speed of the game has it changed a lot?
It has. Obviously, early days, which is probably doing a 360 at this stage, is 2 ruckman. Obviously, you played ruckman, 2 ruckman back in the day. Game started to speed up, and throughout my career, obviously, I've done a lot of rucking on my own. So, but you see teams now starting to bring it back. So, speed's definitely improved and got quicker. But at the same time, I think defences have improved, and your contest has become even more important. So. It's amazing how the game evolves. Sometimes I think there's just going to be goals galore, but the way coaches and the game goes, it's forever changing.
Oh, when you talk about forever changing, we all get frustrated by new rules every year. The 6-6-6 rule, mate, is that an advantage for the ruckman or not?
It can be if you're getting your hand to it. Yep. I think it'll see the dominating guys, Sandiland's gone, all these types, Goldstein as well.
You're not putting yourself in that group, mate? The dominating
I don't like to speak.
I'll put you in there.
But these guys that get a good piece of the ball, it's going to definitely help them. So the challenge is when you're losing, I guess, is to try and turn it around. Is you're not going to get much support from outside the square. So as the year gets on, it'll be interesting still to see how it unfolds.
Mate, I just want to brush across this one quickly. 2017 was a pretty tough year for you. Walshy passing away, your brother Aaron passing away as well, mate. But when you reflect back on that, most people looked at you externally. You almost looked like a pillar amongst the group. You dealt with it really well. Internally, was it a really difficult time?
It was even not only just that time. Obviously Walshy, you just could never imagine in your wildest dreams something like that happened in 2015. But I learned a lot of good things there, and even throughout my life, it's obviously positive. But just touch on it, that I've actually lost quite a few people close to me. So I feel I've developed.
It's been great talking to you, then, mate.
I feel I've developed tools and all that sort of stuff to be able to deal with it. And you've been a part of a lot of sporting clubs. It's a great place to be able to deal with grief. So obviously Walshy, and then losing my brother right before a final series was a really tough challenge. But I was sort of riding the wave at that stage, and the next 12 months last year was probably harder than it was at the time. So
because
just motivation levels, I just
fluctuated.
Yeah, it's just and obviously I found out sort of on 2 days before. I played the first game against GWS. I found out I was going to be a dad, so I've gone from losing my brother to finding out I was going to be a dad to playing in a qualifying final all within a week. So it's obviously tough, but you just learn and you just do the best you can, I guess.
Well, let's talk about the change. Imogen comes into your life, so there's a new one in there. Has it changed your outlook on life?
It has.
A lot?
It's, I guess it's just probably simplified things. I think I've got a really good balance now of when I'm at the club, I'm at the club. When I'm at home, I'm at home. Yep. As you know, being a parent, you come home and they don't care what your day's been like. Yep. She wants to see dad, she wants to play with dad. Yep. She needs to be fed and showered and all that sort of stuff. So I've got a really good routine. I do the bathing sort of stuff before she goes and feeds with mum, because she's obviously only 10 months, so she can't do too much at the moment. But I just love it, and it's just the perfect time for me to become a dad. Yeah.
Now, mate, I know you love your lawn, mate. The boys all tell me how much you love your lawn at home. Do you really cut it with scissors?
If you look at my lawnmower, it's probably pretty similar, actually. I'll have to get it cut very often to make sure that it does cut even more perfect.
I want it to be perfect, mate.
I love it, and I'm sort of a bit of a homebody. I'm a pretty private person. I like to keep to myself, so my home is my castle, and it's something I've worked my ass off to get through footy. So all the hard work and the sacrifice has been all worth it, because my home's what I love.
Hey mate, pre-season, you're 31 now. We sort of get to that 30 bracket in our career where we start going, everything's a little bit harder, mate. How you find pre-season?
This year was actually pretty good. I think coming off a tough year last year, I was once again really motivated to have a good pre-season, really set me up for the year. So it definitely doesn't come without its challenges. I changed a few things. I can't do everything I used to, and through my 20s, I wouldn't miss a session, let alone a game or anything like that. Whereas now I have to be a bit smarter, and takes a bit longer to recover and all that sort of stuff. So it was a really enjoyable pre-season, and hopefully now, you started the year okay, but hopefully you can flow on and play some really good footy.
Mate, we're talking before we came on, you got a little project going on at the Peninsula where you're going to, I kind of wonder, you finish your AFL career, is there any part of you that says, if the body was willing, that you'd go back and maybe play a season?
Nothing sure. I'm 100% committed to that. As soon as I finish at the Crows, I'm definitely going home
Playing the season.
Yeah, playing the season or 5 or 6. So it's I'm really close with my town. I get a lot of great support, and even talking about my brother passing was something that we had in common. So I don't know, I feel a bit of just a real connection there with the club to go home and just give back. As you know, when you're a sportsman, you don't do it on your own. You get a lot of support from everywhere, and Ardrossan's been a massive part of that. And I might even play a little bit of basketball as well if I get the chance.
I'll come and watch that one, mate. I want to see that one. When you talk about, is there a picture in your head that maybe I'll get to 36, 37 and I'm kind of moving on? Have you set yourself a timeline, or it's just wait and see? It's a year by year with the body?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm out of contract actually at the moment, so this
actually, a couple of clubs have asked me. No.
Maybe 36.
Well, the 36s could use a big fella at the minute, mate. They're a bit short.
But I haven't set a timeline. I think at the moment it's important to just focus on what I'm doing.
Yep.
I've got a lot going on, obviously with the little one, footy. I'm starting to transition myself away from footy as well, which is really important to me. So that way, whenever the time comes, I'm prepared. I'm not making a decision based on what's happening outside. It's because I want to keep going, or I've had enough. So I'm really big on that I want to do it on my terms.
All right, now, mate, I've defended the big guys saying that they're really intelligent and smart. A lot of people don't think they are. It takes a while
Pikey gets into us.
Pikey gets into it, does he?
It's got to be small, though.
All right, so, mate, I've put this together. It's called the Sweet 16, because I know you know basketball, mate. Gets down to the 8 and the Fab Four.
As well to do it.
All right, so these are quick fire questions.
Okay.
Let's see how you go, mate. And they're in no particular order.
Yep.
So I want to try and see if I can throw you off. Okay, mate. Most embarrassing moment at high school?
Probably my haircut.
Your haircuts?
Yeah.
Right.
I tried to dye my hair blonde for the formal, and it went even brighter orange.
All right,
funniest
bloke on the Crows team?
Was Kyle Cheney, but I'll give it to Paul Season.
All right, there's always one, mate, the player on the team that thinks he's the funniest, but he's not funny at all.
Probably Andy Otten. He doesn't mind his humour.
All right, if you were in the NBA, mate, who would you be playing for?
I don't mind the way the Spurs operate, so probably with Paddy at San Antonio.
With Paddy and Popovich, okay.
Yeah.
All right, what rule would you change in the AFL? Because everybody changes them every year, so you may as well have one.
You're right. I think that the interpretation of holding the ball. I think we've gone too far from rewarding a guy who comes in second to the footy.
All right, if you were arrested with no explanation, what would your family think you were arrested for? Stealing grass off of someone's lawn, mate?
If my family would probably say hoarding something.
Hoarding something. You're probably hoarding something, right? And mate, if you had a superpower, what one do you want?
To slow time down.
Slow time down?
Slow time down. Time goes way too quick.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. If you're an actor, what type of movie would you be in?
Probably a rom-com.
All right. Mate, I know you've travelled because a couple of times. If you had to leave Australia with the wife and the daughter, where would you live?
Probably San Francisco. We love America. San Fran's a beautiful spot down there at Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah, it is a great spot, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You wouldn't be over at Alcatraz, mate. You're not planning to go to the island, are you, mate?
It's too cold.
Too cold, yeah. All right. If you're a musician, what instrument would you play?
Oh, it's got to be the guitar.
The guitar?
But I love singing as well, though. I know it's not an instrument, but...
Oh, okay. You'd be the lead singer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What would the band be called? Sauce's Greatest?
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know? All right.
I don't know.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in ghosts, but probably spirits.
In spirits?
Yeah.
All right, that's fair enough, mate. If you had $1 million, what would you build and why?
Well, I've got my house. I've got my shack that I'm building at the moment. I'm pretty content.
So you don't need $1 million, mate?
No, just pay off debt.
So you give it to me, that'd be great.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
I'm a simple man, Smyth.
Okay. If you were king sauce for a day,
yep,
what would you change?
I would put a bridge between York Peninsula and Adelaide.
Not bad. Not bad. All right.
Probably straight across here, actually.
Straight across, mate. Well, they talk about it.
Yeah,
they do talk about it. Well, I don't like your at least unless you become king, it's not going to happen,
exactly.
Mate. No, I can't see that happening. What drill would you drop out of pre-season training?
It's not a drill, but warm-up. I hate warm-ups.
I hate
warm-ups, especially in the middle of winter. And anything that involves too much running.
All right. If you're an Olympian, what event or sport would you dominate, mate?
Well, Kyle Chalmers is one of my very good mates. So
you're going to be a swimmer.
I always tell him that the two things that matter at Olympics are the 100-metre sprint and the 100-metre freestyle. So mate, it'd have to be one of those.
I tell you what, he won't enjoy this story. I spoke at a function a while ago where I talked about Usain Bolt.
Yep.
And I talked about Michael Phelps.
Yep.
And I asked the people in the audience what they knew. Everyone knew Usain Bolt.
Yep.
Half the audience had no idea who Michael Phelps was.
That'd be flattening for Kyle.
Yeah. So you better tell Kyle, mate. He better pick another event.
Right.
So, all right, last one, mate. Let me think of something the funniest bloke that you've worked with on radio. Now, Jars would think it would be him.
Well, I'll give you a top 3.
Top 3, okay.
Jars.
Yep.
KG.
Yep.
Phil Smyth. I have to go KG.
KG. Fantastic.
We had a lot of fun.
He's a great bloke, isn't he, mate? Yeah, even though he's... Hey, so it's really appreciate your time, mate. Hope it's a great year for you. Crows, obviously, we want to see him in the finals. Have we got a crystal ball view of where you'll finish before the final start? Top 4?
You think top 4 if you want to be a serious contender. It showed that you can win it from outside the top 4 in the last few years, but definitely top 4. Play some games at Adelaide, I won't go straight to the ground.
All right, top 4 for the Crows as long as Sauce doesn't get injured. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Thanks, guys.